So this morning I had some synchronicity in a message that I received from Brian Pauling, who is our divisional vice president here at CMG. He sends a message every Friday morning. And this one was an inspiration, not only because of the numbers that he shared and how well we did in January, but also, and I'm not going to share that section, but also that part of life lesson. And it was in synchronicity with the magic that I've shared before from Rhonda Byrne. And I'll let you listen to it. Bear with me 1 second while I share. Go.
Guys, we are a force to be reckoned with and can't wait to see what 2024 brings. But I'm going to give you some life lessons. Our dear friend Sherry Winrick sent me an email a couple weeks from John Gordon. He turned 53 and he had 53 life lessons. I want to share a couple of them with you. I'm just going to share 4 of them with you and just give you a quote at the end. But the 4 that stood out to me were these. It says, abundance flows into your life when gratitude flows out of your heart. Abundance flows into your life when gratitude flows out of your heart. Number 2, being positive doesn't mean you ignore reality. It means you maintain optimism and belief to create a better reality. That one is a good one for our industry right there, guys. Number 3, it's more important to have vision than plans. You often have to change plans to realize your vision. Listen, we've all done that where we put plans together and have to, tweak it, turn it here or there to get it done. So another great one there. 4th one really stood out to me because it happened in my life. It says, a teacher or coach who believes in you can change the course of your life. My basketball coach was that guy, Coach Martin. And from, 8th grade, he was always the one encouraging that you could do better in the classroom. That was the big thing. If you worked as hard as you did on the basketball court, you could be a better student, which I took to heart come junior year. But I tell you that because next Wednesday, I'm actually playing golf with him and having dinner with him. I've stayed in touch with him. We talk probably once a month, called me throughout college to check on grades, things of that nature, family, all that stuff. But I'm sure each and every one of us have a teacher or a coach that has stood out in our life. And if you do, maybe drop that person a note and just thank them for what they did in your life and made a difference. But I tell you this, and I want to end on this. It's a quote. And yesterday we talked about creating warriors in 2024 at the Sales Summit. And I saw this quote, and I'm the 4th of 5 kids. So this one really resonated with me. It says, never fight until you have to. But when it's time to fight, you fight like you were the 3rd monkey on the ramp to Noah's Ark. And brother, it's starting to rain. That one rang true to me, both in my personal life and in the mortgage business. We hope each and every one of you have a fantastic day, a great weekend. We love you guys. Take care. We'll talk next week.
That was inspirational, right? And then I want to share with you the section with my gratitude practice. So bear with me 1 moment. So as you can see, the magic book, Rhonda Byrne, magical people who made a difference. Remember what he just shared, Brian, of people, a person who's made a coach who made a difference in his life, and then still connected to that person, right? So listen to this practice.
Day 12, magical people who made a difference. At times, our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each one of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lighted the flame within us. Albert Schweitzer, 20th century Nobel Peace Prize-winning medical missionary and philosopher.
Every one of us has received help, support, or guidance from other people at particular times in our life when we needed it most. Sometimes another person alters the course of our life through their encouragement, guidance, or just being there at the right time. And then life goes on, and we tend to forget those times when one person touched us or changed our life. Sometimes you don't even realize the impact a person had until well into the future, when you look back on your life and realize that a particular person was pivotal in magically changing the direction of your life for the better. The person may have been a teacher or coach, an uncle, aunt, sibling, grandparent, or any family member. They may have been a doctor, nurse, or best friend. They may have been the person who introduced you to your current partner, or to a particular interest that became one of your greatest passions. Maybe they were someone you didn't even know, and they appeared in your life very briefly, performing a random act of kindness that touched you to the core. My grandmother gave me my love for books, cooking, and the countryside. By sharing her love of those things with me, all of them affected and changed the course of my life. Cooking became a passion of mine for over 20 years. My love of books eventually led to me becoming a writer, and my love of the countryside has influenced where I've lived throughout my life. My grandmother also taught me to say thank you. At the time, I thought she was just teaching me to be polite. It was only later in my life I realized that teaching me to say the magic words was the greatest gift my grandmother ever gave me. She's not alive anymore, but I continue to be grateful to her for the huge influence she had on the course of my life. Thank you, Grandma. Today, you are going to think about the magical people who have impacted your life. Sometime today, find a quiet place alone, sit down and think of 3 extraordinary people who have made a difference in your life. Once you have your 3 people, work with one person at a time and talk out loud to each person as though they were present, telling them the reasons why you're grateful to them and how they affected the course of your life. Make sure you do this magical practice with all 3 people in the one session, because it will take your feeling of gratitude to a far deeper level. If you split up this magical practice throughout the day, you will not feel the same depth of gratitude, nor receive the magical results. Here's an example of what you might say. Sarah, I want to thank you for the time that you encouraged me to follow my heart. I was lost and confused that day, and your words touched me and lifted me out of despair. Because of what you said, I found the courage to follow my dream, and I moved to France to work as an apprentice chef. I'm living my dream, and I couldn't be happier, all because of what you said to me that day. Thank you, Sarah. It's very important that you say the reasons why you're grateful, and you can't say too much. Instead, the more you say and the more you feel, the more amazing the results. You will see the magic explode into your life from doing this practice. It numbers among the most powerful acts of gratitude you can ever perform. If you're not in a position to talk out loud, then you can write down your words to each person and address them as though you're writing a letter. When you have completed this practice, you will notice a huge difference in the way that you feel. The evidence of gratitude's power working is always that first and foremost, it makes you happy. The secondary evidence of gratitude's power is that you attract wonderful things. And as if all of that wasn't enough, the happiness you feel after practicing gratitude also attracts more wonderful things, which will make you even happier. That's the magic of life, and that's the magical power of gratitude.
So I encourage you to get the book, do the practice. It's 28 days. And I'll share with you that the 3 people that I've chosen today to do this practice of thanking them is Judy, who is here on social media as well, who has been pivotal in making a shift in clearing some of the junk in my space. Also, my ex-boyfriend, my ex-partner's parents, definitely an impact on my life. And my mom is always one that always makes a difference, made from the day I was born, from that aspect, but also through my life transitions and for who she is. And there's one person that I wrote, Chris also. So those are the 3, actually 4, that I will share. Who inspired you? Who made a shift in your life? If you're one of my past customers, maybe I made a shift in your life for your ability to purchase a home, right? But putting that aside, putting that lender hat on the side, I know by even speaking it, by writing it, by not necessarily calling, that's just a great step, that makes such a difference in our life or how we feel, but that person's life. So whose life are you going to touch by reaching out to them and say, thank you for the impact you had in my life, and saying why? I invite you to do that this weekend and have fun with it, right? Have fun with reaching out to people you haven't spoken to. And even if it's not a pivotal shift, it could have just been one thing. And maybe that will spark some other ideas of who to reach out and just say how much you thank them. So thank you for listening. I know this was long, but I am trusting you found value to it. Have a great one.